still active 95-year-old artist remembers when art first came to Stamford.
I'm 95. that surprises me too. When we first moved to Stamford, and somehow I got acquainted with a lot of artists because I was getting my art supplies in an art store called Spelko's. I realized that I never saw any art exhibits in Stamford. Never. And in other words, these artists had no place to hang. There was no public place. So I decided we ought to have an art show sometime. And so I invited all the artists who I had met. And it was a beautiful night, and you'd be surprised how many people came at that time. The first time Stamford ever had a big art show. So it became a very arty sort of city. The artists had been there anyway. I don't want to take any credit for it. I don't know how it developed. I'm just saying that this is what I knew about it. Today in art classes, I noticed that they learn all about the things that I had to learn by myself. I originally learned from a professor who was very old-fashioned in his style of painting, but he was a marvelous painter. He had learned in France and from the old school, you might say. But mostly it was experiment. I like to experiment. Some work, some don't. I really went into business. I had a few commissions to make large paintings the size of the sofa. And the largest one I have is up there. I do have one up there. But the others that I made were even larger than that. They were all abstract type developed. But as I look back, I say, how on earth did I have time to do this? Because I didn't neglect the family. I know I was taking care of my children. And my husband's influence on me, I think he was a great influence on me. And probably that's one of the reasons I was able to do it. I think it's because he supported me, he encouraged me, and he didn't object when I took time out to paint instead of to cook. I never made a kugel. I never even made a brisket. So Carol says to me lots of times, why don't you go out and have some fun, or, have lunch out or something. I think, you know what? All I could say is I did it. I don't want to do it now. But I'm glad to be 95 and to be able to do these things.